So today we are going to cover from the 12th chapter of the Gita. Anyone remembers the verse number? Verse number 11th to 15th. So these are series of verses where Krishna is trying to tell, understanding that all of us are at different levels of our spiritual growth. Like somebody is trying to practice weightlifting. Somebody can lift 80 kgs, somebody can lift 60 kgs, somebody can lift 40 kgs, somebody can lift 20 kgs, somebody cannot lift at all. Am I right? So likewise, there are 84 lakh species of life. Out of this 84 lakh species, 84 lakh yonia, we have been discussing how many are human beings? 4 lakhs. 4 lakhs are human beings. And this gradation of human beings is not basis the color of skin, not basis nationality, not basis gender, not basis your income strata. It is basis what? How evolved a person or a soul is spiritually. So if you were to categorize the evolution of the soul spiritually, awakened, how much he is awakened, then you can broadly classify in 4 lakh categories. So the bottommost spectrums are completely uncultured, barbaric, unregulated, no conception of God, almost like animals, bordering towards animals. We have, sometimes people completely barbaric, cannibals, man-eaters. No conception of dharma. So that is one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is complete, pristine, pure, self-realized, completely aligned to the interest of the Lord, completely God-conscious, fully pure, self-realized. So in between, there are many levels. All of us, in that sense, could be of different species. We think that, human beings is one species. Plants are another species. No. 4 lakh species. This is the evolution of soul. Now, all of us are at different levels of our spiritual growth. And just like in a school, somebody is in the 2nd standard, somebody is in the 4th standard, somebody is in the 10th standard, somebody is, doing his graduation. So likewise, Krishna understands that all of us are at different levels, and hence, same instruction cannot be applicable to everyone. In management also they say different strokes for different folks. You cannot have same common thing. What motivates one person may not motivate another person. So now, in this 12th chapter, we have covered in the last session, Krishna is giving, do this, which is the highest. Knowing that the highest everyone cannot do this. Knowing that everyone cannot do this also, do this. Knowing that people still cannot do this, because why they cannot do? Because we are at different levels of our spiritual growth. If you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do this. So just like in an example, if you cannot run 42 kilometers, full marathon, run 21 kilometers. Right? If you cannot run 10,000. If you cannot run 10,000, run 5,000. If you cannot run 5, at least walk. If you cannot walk, at least get out of your bed. Yeah, because different people are at different levels. So now let's go step by step and read those verses so we get a feeling. First I'll just read the translation so we have a collective understanding of what are the levels Krishna talking about. And then we'll get an idea where we are, which level we can easily follow. We'll get some clue. Now this is the highest level, which is, as I said, this 4 lakh species, the one who is in that, the other end of the spectrum. For one who worships me, giving up all his activities and being fully devoted to me without deviation. Possible for us? One who worships me, giving up all his activities, 100% devoted. Giving up all his activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation. There is no deviation, there is no divided, so to say, loyalty. 100% devoted to Lord. Devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, fully conscious of me, every step conscious of the Lord, who is fixed his mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for him I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. That person is out of this material existence. We are far, far away from it, right? We are fixed on something else. Mind meditating on so many things. That's why we realize our state when we start chanting. So difficult it is to fix our mind on the holy name, because the mind has, is getting tempted to so many things. There's so many things which is capturing our attention. I repeat again, for one who worships me, giving up all his activities unto me. All his activities unto me does not mean that he is morning to evening just doing puja. His all activities is but for the Lord. The Lord has a mission. He is completely 100%, 24/7 engaged in the service of the Lord. None of his activities, none of his words is disconnected from the Lord. Giving up all his activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation. It's very important. We also devote time. Morning mein आधा घंटा, 1 घंटा, evening mein also some time, but then throughout the day we have other things to catch up with, other things to devote our time on. So here it says, without deviation, engaged in devotional service, always meditating upon me, who has fixed his mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for him I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Is that clear to everyone? What Krishna is saying is the highest. This is what I am talking about, the other end of the spectrum. 4 lakh species. Now Krishna is saying, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. In other words, be fully conscious of me. Now somebody may say, why the Lord is being so egoistic? Think of me, devote to me, engage in me, always without deviation. Is too demanding, isn't it? Just like, somebody says, तुम बोलो तुम मुझसे प्यार करती हो और किसी से नहीं. There's a बोलो तुम. Why the Lord is wanting that a person be devoted to him? This brings us to a very fundamental question: who we actually are. We all understand from Gita, and it is also relatively easy come to the understanding that we are not the body, we are soul. Atma. Now where did this Atma come from? Just came from thin air? Or Big Bang happened and suddenly some Atmas emerged out of that bang? What is this Atma? Krishna in the Gita says, Mamai Amsho. Amsho means part. Very simple. Mamai, mam means my. Amsho means part. Very simple. No major confusion. Mamai Amsho Jiva Loke. Jiva means this living entity is my Amsha. Just like this hand is Amsha of this body. It's part and parcel of this body. Now, this hand is being part of the body, it serves the interest of this whole body. Like it helps in writing, it helps in picking up things, it takes the food and puts in the mouth. And it is designed that when the hand or the respective organs play their respective roles, being part and parcel of the body functions properly, and that part gets its due quota of happiness and nourishment. Suppose a person is very, very hungry. Is very hungry, is not eaten for a day or so. Maybe he had fasted nirjal. And after that fast, he is given, a nice plate with a lot of rice, dal, sabji and a whole lot of variety of foodstuffs. The person is hungry. If actually this hand, which is part and parcel of the body, is also which is tired because of the fasting, if this hand wants to get nourished, it just hovers over that plate and tries to gulab jamun, dal, pulao, basmati rice, it feels all the edibles. Will a person hunger gets satiated? Yes, no. If it wants its nourishment, it cannot act independently and not be part of the whole. When it does its designated duty, it takes that food, puts in the mouth, the tongue actually enjoys, and the belly gets that food. When this process is followed, what happens to this hand? It gets its due quota of nourishment. Morning I was speaking to someone, so that person said, so does that mean that we cannot enjoy ourselves? Is Lord saying that we should not enjoy? No, we are designed in such a way that when we serve the Lord, when we are completely aligned to the interest of the Lord, when we follow the instructions of the Lord, when we serve the whole, instead of serving the false masters, we get our quota of happiness, our quota of enjoyment. Just like this hand is a good example. So now, if somebody is told, you don't try to enjoy independently, try to do your function, put the hand, it looks like the mouth is very egoistic, the stomach is very egoistic. It's saying, put in me, work for me. It looks like the body is very egoistic. Looks like, am I right? Why the hand cannot enjoy independently? What's wrong? It cannot, because that's not how it is designed. It's not the constitutional position. Once in California, there are fishes, people are on the beach, and then, one of the fish saw all the people enjoying. Some of them are drinking and singing and dancing and doing all kinds of, somebody is reading, somebody is bathing, somebody is lying on the beach. So one of the fish saw that, let me also enjoy. They are enjoying, let me also enjoy. And that fish jumped out of water to enjoy. And then seeing that the fish has jumped out of the water, there were people trying to help that fish so that that fish can also get a glimpse of what we are doing, how we are enjoying. So some of them, brought a velvet cushion where that fish can come and sit comfortably. And then somebody bought a beer can. Tum bhi piyo, maja karo. And somebody brought a magazine. Okay, you also can see what's happening in the world. And all along the fishes. Why? Because that's not its natural habitat. It's not in its elements. You put the fish back in water, you don't have a velvet, you don't have any of those things, it will be happy. So, we being Amsha of the Lord, Krishna says, Mamaiv Amsha Jiva Loke, we are designed to be happy in company of the Lord. When we serve the Lord, we get our quota of happiness. It's a hard, that's why Krishna says, Anasuyave, I am speaking this knowledge to you, Krishna, Arjuna, because you are my friend, and Anasu, you are non-envious of me. Otherwise, envy means what? Why? Why the Lord has designed like that? Ichha, dvesha. Dvesha means envy. Why is saying think of me? Why is thinking remember me? Why is saying worship me? The reason why we have come in this world because dvesha came. Why I cannot be the enjoyer? Why I cannot be the master? Why I cannot be the Lord? Why I cannot be glorified? Why everyone has to glorify the Lord? Why people should not sing my glories? So Ichha and Dvesha. When this came, we are here in this material world and all of us are trying our best, just like fish out of water, trying our best to be the enjoyers, to be the masters, to be the controllers, to be the center of attraction. You see, this is the natural psychology. We want to look good. This whole Facebook, everything, we want to be appreciated. We want people to like us. Isn't it? So, that's why Krishna is saying the highest level is who's completely devoted, who is completely situated in its elements. Who is the hand when it's playing the role, that is the best thing the hand can do. Am I right? So that's the highest thing. Next, Krishna says, knowing that we cannot do that, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me, it's coming closer to us. Isn't it? Krishna is now coming closer to us. If you cannot fix the mind, तो क्या करें बताओ आप? If just fix your mind, this is the first instruction. This is the highest instruction. Fix your mind upon me. Because you are my Amsha. You serve me, I serve you, both of us in reciprocal relationship, just like Arjuna and Krishna. By the way, when we serve the Lord, it is not that the Lord is like a master and we are like the slave and chalo, seva karo mera. When we serve the Lord in turn serves his devotees. That's why the Lord is said Bhakta Vatsala. Different devotees, when they are serving the Lord, they are relishing that sweet rasa, taste in that relationship. And that's what inspires a devotee to be devoted more and more, serve the Lord more and more. Otherwise, why will a person continue? Why will a person chant for years together, and increase his chanting? Because he's getting some rasa. The Lord is giving some enjoyment, a higher taste, which is keeping him, so to say, going on this path. So, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, can anyone suggest what should we do? Krishna is saying, if you cannot fix the mind on me without deviation, what should we do? Any suggestion? Huh? Any suggestion? Okay, Bhakti Yoga. Do sometime. Okay. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. You cannot remember always, then regulated principles. Morning you remember, evening you remember, in a regulated way. हमेशा नहीं कर सकते, at least थोड़ा time तो कीजिए. Then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, you will develop a desire to attain me. अभी वो desire भी नहीं है. So धीरे धीरे that the desire, that love for God will awaken. Now next stage is, there are a lot of people out of this 4 lakh species who will not even practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Then what? Then Krishna says, if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, we all are in which level? We all are in which level? Actually, if we have started chanting and doing this thing, we are actually very fortunate. We have reached the 2nd level. We are trying to practice. That's a different thing. That in that also there are many species. 16 round is one species. 12 rounds is another species. But at least we are broadly speaking in that 2nd level. Try to practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga and try to develop a desire to attain me. You all agree with this? First is completely absorbed in me without deviation, meditating on me, fully devoted to me. If you cannot do this, then try to practice the principles of Bhakti Yoga in a regulated way and develop a desire to attain me. Now we all know, we have been, so to say, creating a buzz about the programs happening. Very few selected souls are here because it doesn't make sense to them. Practice the regulative principles of devotional service. So then, what is it? If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, any suggestion what a person can do? He cannot. He is not interested in. Then just work for me. In other words, do my work. Because by working for me, you will attain the perfect stage. Working for me means Lord's dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Yes or no? Krishna says we do this thing. So Lord has his work in this world to spread dharma. And for that work, his representatives are there. So if a person helps in executing the Lord's work, maybe by helping the devotee, he is not chanting, he is not devoted, he is not interested in bhakti, but suddenly a devotee goes, "Thika, you are doing a great job, okay, please take some donations." It is helping the work of the Lord. That's why this charity, when someone gives to a qualified Brahmana who is engaged in propagating the mission of the Lord, is the highest charity. There is charity in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna, charity in the mode of passion, charity in the mode of satoguna, and shuddha sattva, transcendental charity. A request to all of you, make it a point, whatever you earn, some portion of it, give it to Krishna. Because I'll explain to you why. More than we needing your money, you need the blessings of the Lord, which comes by parting away our hard-earned money for the service of the Lord. Both ways, we also need for propagating the mercy. When this program is organized, it doesn't come freely. But more than we needing, Lord will somehow manage his mission. Yes or no? Lord will manage his mission. more than we needing, in that scenario where we need your money and you have to give money, more than we needing money, it is your need to give money to sanctify your existence. If you say who is more in need, actually you are more in need. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then try to work for me, because working for me you will come. Now sometimes what happens is, we do lip service. Yes, we are very devoted. But real devotion is, are you willing to sacrifice what is dear to you? Something which we are attached to? This whole idea of even Bakrid, sacrificing of goat. Actually, this whole idea is Qurbani, sacrifice for Lord. And I don't know the full details, but the overall principle is, you have a goat which grows and stays with the person in his house, and a person develops attachment for that animal. And when the person develops attachment, you are attached to someone and you sacrifice it for the Lord. Qurbani, sacrifice for the pleasure of the Lord. We'll not get into details whether it is pleasing to the Lord, why goat and why not, all these things. Let's not get into details. The idea of is sacrificing something which is dear to us makes us dear to Lord. So somebody who may donate money for spreading the message of the Lord, he may not even know that he has, but then that act of his propels him exponentially towards the Lord. Does it make sense? He may not even know what he has done, but that action of his propels him towards the Lord. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then try to work for me, because by working for me, pranair, artha, diya, vacha. There are 4 things in which we can work for the Lord. Prana means life. We cannot give our life. We cannot dedicate our life because we have other commitments in this life. Prana. The next is artha. Yes, we cannot give prana, but we can give artha, means money. We can sacrifice money, which is dear to us. That money we can transact and do a lot of things which will give me enjoyment, but I sacrifice it for the Lord. Prana, artha. Now somebody cannot give artha also, then diya. Diya means, diya does not mean ghiya. Diya means intelligence. One can use his intelligence for the Lord. And if you cannot use even your intelligence, vacha, words. Use your words in the service of the Lord. Tell someone about the Lord. Tell someone to chant the names of the Lord. Pranair artha diya vacha. So anything we do, we work for the Lord, we are growing up. So this is what we had covered last week. How many of us were there last week, last session? So we'll go a little slow so that we all are in sync. Some of us were there, some of us were not there. So what is the highest level? What is the highest level? Fix the mind always, without deviation, always thinking of me, always fully 100% devoted to me. And for such a person, I am a swift deliverer from this cycle of birth and death. Then Krishna says, always meditate on me. If you cannot do that, which is our case, then practice the regulated principles of Bhakti and try to develop a desire to attain me. What is regulated principles? Like, we cannot always meditate on the Lord, at least meditate on the Lord for some time. 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. So this chanting, what Srila Prabhupada is recommending us to do, chant for 2 rounds or 4 rounds, is regulated devotional service. Now Krishna says this avidya Shakti, it is coming from him. It is his Shakti. Just like sun creates the cloud and cloud covers the sun. Does the clouds cover the sun? Does the cloud cover the sun? What does it cover? Sometimes we see in the sky and we say, आज तो सूरज ही नहीं दिख रहा, आज तो सूरज ही नहीं दिख रहा, बहुत बहुत क्या है, बहुत बादल है. It's very cloudy. Today sun has not risen, sun is not there. Actually the sun creates the cloud, but clouds have no power to cover the sun. But what it does, it covers our vision of sun. Is that clear to everyone? So this avidya Shakti is a Shakti of the Lord which cannot cover the Lord. The Lord cannot come under avidya, but it covers our vision of the Lord. We are not able to see God. We are not able to understand God. We think that there is no God. Or I am God. That is the influence of avidya Shakti. And what happens when we are under the influence of avidya Shakti? Avidya kama karma bhi. Avidya leads to kama. Kama, broad definition, is desire to enjoy independent of God. Avidya, next, kama, and kama leads to karma bhi. Karma bhi means we engage in fruitive work. We act, we want the results, we are attached to that results. Why we want that results? To enjoy. So what are we trying to do in this world? We are working very hard because we are wanting the results. More money, more paycheck, more career growth, so that I can enjoy. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. And when we engage in karma, perform actions with the desire to enjoy the results, what happens is a chain of action and reactions gets formed. Karma, karmic reactions, and we get entangled in that karma. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. So if we have to come out of this avidya, Krishna is now giving us what we should do. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Dhuratya, and this avidya, this Maya Shakti, under which we have now fallen into the clutches of Maya, it's Dhuratya, it's very difficult to surmount. We don't even know that we are in avidya. We don't even know that we are in Maya. Forget about getting out of Maya. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. Now, the symptom of avidya is one thinks that I am the body. Aham mameti. I am the enjoyer. This life is all in all. The symptom of avidya is eat, drink and be merry. There is no God. You don't have to be accountable for your actions. These are symptoms of avidya Shakti. And when we follow this process, when this avidya Shakti starts dismantling, the symptom, the glimmer of that avidya is dismantling is a person will realize that I am not the body. He will see the futility in working hard for temporary gains. Why should I work hard for money, accumulating assets, build castles, attached to power, position, name, fame? After all, it is temporary. He will see the futility in working hard. And as a result, naturally, he will be detached. To the extent a person comes out of this avidya, to that extent, he will be detached. The reason we are attached to our body, all these things, is because of avidya Shakti. Any questions so far? Anything which would like to ask, clarify? Yes. Different types of spirituality. The question is that only a person who is fully devoted to the Lord, fully meditating, only he can get mukti. There is no hope for others. First, we should understand what is mukti. Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vivastitihi. This is the definition of mukti. I repeat. Mukti hitva. Hitva means to give up. Anyatha rupam. Swarupena vivastitihi. For a fish which is out of water, what is mukti? Hitva anyatha. Anyatha means land is anyatha. It is not its elements. It's not its true position. What is mukti? Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vivasti. Swarupena means to be situated back in one's own constitutional position is mukti. So for a fish which is out of water on a velvet bedstead with a beer can next to it, wanting to enjoy, wriggling in pain, because it is not in its swarupena vyavastiti, to go back to water is mukti. Fish cannot be happy out of water. Mamaiv amsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Mana shashta indriyani. With the mind and senses, we are battling with nature. We are wanting to enjoy, but we are not getting enjoyment. In return, what we are getting is different kinds of miseries. Now some of us may say, Swami ji, आप तो बहुत ही pessimistic हैं, सब negative बोलते हैं आप लोग. नहीं, हम तो enjoy करते हैं ना, खुश हैं हम लोग. I'm happy, nothing wrong in my life. It's great, I got promotion last week. My wife also is good, children is good, he got admission in Harvard last week, everything is fine in my life. That's why Krishna says, Tukhalayam ashashvata. It is temporary. That sukha is temporary. How long? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 45 years, 50 years? What will happen after 50 years? This is ashashvata. That so-called sukha, which we think is sukha, is ashashvata. It's temporary. This body itself is temporary. Relationships are temporary. So what is mukti? Mukti, now, for us to achieve mukti, we should get purified. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. Because we are implicated in these karmic reactions, we are bound, we are entangled. And if we have to get mukti, we have to be freed of kama. We have to be freed of avidya. We have to come to know. That's why asatoma satgamaya. We have to come to knowledge. Otherwise, what is the question? Mukti. And a person who has come to knowledge, who is freed of avidya, even though he may be so-called householder, even though he may be so-called engaged in his worldly duties, he is a mukt purusha. So what is mukti? Mukti means we have to come out of this avidya. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. Krishna says, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Iyavainam. This kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava. This kama is the actual vairi. Vairi means enemy of the living entity. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna, which is born out of passion. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna, which is born out of passion. Mahashano, Mahapapma. Mahashano, it is very, very troublesome. Mahapapma, it is very sinful enemy of the living entity. We have kama, We have desires, and because of desires we are working so hard and working hard so that I can enjoy the results of my hard work. That's what we have come in this world. Ichha, dvesha, avidya, kama, karma bhi. So now Krishna talks, be fully conscious of me. Yeah. Okay, good question. So question is, where do we draw a line? What we are saying, always think of me, devoted fully to me. It's good to hear, but looks impractical. We have worldly duties, we have attachments, we have our near and dear ones to take care of. It looks little impractical. Where is the thin line? That's why this coming out of avidya and moving to higher levels is not a one life process. We have had many lives. That's why some of us are getting attracted to this message, some of us are not getting attracted. So, who knows, one life somebody is just chanting 2 rounds only. He has no motivation, no interest into making it 3 rounds. No interest. He is happy with that. My brother, younger brother, he chants 1 round for the last 16 years he's chanting. And that also, agar mood hai to. He's at that level. So, not everyone will come. Now, where we end in one life, we start from that level in next life. So Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gyanvan Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Durlabha. So quite possible what you are saying is, in this life, with all the practical difficulties what we have, the compulsions we have, we may not be able to practice. We may think it is impractical. We have created that web around us. We are entangled. Avidya, kama, avidya over many lifetimes we have cultivated, and we have acted out of fulfilling those karma, and we have got entangled. And to disentangle it may not be one life process. Does it make sense? So we try our best. That's why Krishna is giving different levels. If you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot, knowing that whatever progress you make, it is getting to your permanent credit. Arjuna asks, what happens to a person who treads this path but does not complete the whole thing? He says there is no loss. Whatever he has done has gone to his permanent credit. He will continue from that point in the next life. So this whole Vedic process, whether it's Vedas, whether it is Quran, whether it is Bible, all different religions, all different scriptures are aiming for one thing. What is that one thing? To remove that avidya and brings us closer to God. Details may vary. They may ask some, do this fasting, do that Ramzan, do something. The details may vary from religion to religion, but all of them are doing the same thing. That a soul which is caught in avidya, which is overpowered by avidya, has forgotten God, how to bring him back to God and remove that avidya shakti. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. Different religions have done. Christians have tithing. Tithing means 10% of what you earn, give it to the church. They have, kurbani, they have sacrifice, they have fasting, they have rosas, they have Ramzan. All this is all nothing but that Atma. Atma is not Muslim, Atma is not Hindu, Atma is not Christian. There are 4 lakh species, all of us are at different levels. Different religions are trying to remove that avidya and bring us closer to God. That avidya is one which has made us forget God. Avidya is the one which has made us believe that I am the body. Avidya is the one which has made us believe that I am the enjoyer. Does that answer your question? So it is not, in this life, where to draw a line. Maybe I can practice only up till this point. It may look very impractical beyond that. That's why Krishna has given many levels, and that's why this whole Vedic process is to elevate the soul gradually over many lifetimes. That's a different thing. That Krishna conscious process is a fast track process. What you can achieve in one lifetime, what Vedic may take up many lifetimes, you can achieve in one lifetime by following a direct process of surrendering to Krishna. That's why Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. So many dharmic principles are there, Parityaja, because ultimately the end is the same. Mamai Vamsho. Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Because that's the ultimate dharma. We are his Amsha. And then may say, no, what will happen to this? What will happen to that? Ma Sucha, do not fear. Ham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha. I will free you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Okay, now, if you cannot do this, if you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then try to do my work, because working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Next, Krishna says, if you cannot do that also, what should a person do? If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. In other words, be detached from the results of your work. In other words, what Krishna is saying is do philanthropic. Give in charity. Because karma is what? You want the results and you want to be enjoy. What is karma? I am working hard so that I get results and I enjoy the results. So many times in the Gita, Krishna says, do not be attached to the results. You have the right to do your duty, but do not be attached to the results. Now, if you cannot give the results for Krishna, for Krishna's work, give the results of your work for some charity work. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness, some people say, why I should give? What are these people doing, just chanting this thing? What if we should feed the poor people? We should give, open school, hospitals. We should open all this philanthropic work. It is real service. What is this satsang, Gita, all this pravachan, time waste kar rahe hain log. They may not be able to relate with why I should donate for this. How is it helping the society? Some 20-30 people go and eat some nice dinner. How is it helping? All of them educated, intelligent people. How is it helping? So some people are that. How is it helping? Okay. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness with this understanding that Krishna's work is there, if you are not able to understand, that's fine. Then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Means instead of trying to enjoy the results of the work, you be detached from the results and try to be happy minus enjoying the results of your work. Self-situated. Sacrifice the accumulated results of activities for some good cause. Could be opening of hospitals, could be orphanage, could be this thing. So a lot of people are philanthropic mindset. It's good. They are at that level. It is better than a person who is working hard and with the whole and sole motive of I will get the results and I will enjoy. It is better that he works hard, gets the result and gives that money for some good cause. That way all this Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, they're doing good. They're earning money, they are very rich, and they're giving it for philanthropy. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. This is also recommended here because by practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually. This is a gradual process. What is the highest? To always think of Krishna. But you are not at the level, think for some time. Regulated. If you cannot do that also, chanting is not making sense, reading Gita is not making sense, give some charity for the spread of the mission of the Lord, to qualified brahmanas who are engaged in propagating the message of the Lord. If you don't feel that also is making sense to you, try to be detached from the results of your work and give to some charitable cause. But you should understand all are at different levels. This is the highest. If you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do this. Krishna has 2 more levels. Because there are 4 lakh species to be dealt with. Right? If you cannot always think of me, then follow the regulative principles. If you cannot do this, help my work. Do my work. If you cannot do this, okay, give in charity. Be detached from the results of your work. Karmane evadika ma phaleshu kadachana. You have the right to do your duty, but do not be attached to the results of your activities. Be detached. Give the results for some good cause. Do not be the enjoyer. Work for me is, the Lord has a mission. The devotees are engaged in the mission of the Lord. Work for me is you contribute for that mission. May not be chanting. May not be devotional service means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Do my work. So either you can work for the Lord or you can help someone who is working for the Lord. Both are Lord's work. Is it clear? In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one country may be accepted so that someday one will come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Lord. Somebody says, what's wrong with opening a hospital or doing charity or giving food to orphanage? Nothing wrong. It is at one level. It is good. Slowly it will purify that person. Slowly that avidya shakti, which means that I am the enjoyer of the result of my activities, will slowly go. Detachment will come. One fine day the desire will come that let me give it for, when the understanding of Lord will come, let me serve the Lord, give it for the mission of the Lord. Now, next Krishna says, should we go to the next level? How many of us are interested in next level? अभी तक तो हमारा फिट हो गया ना कहीं लेवल पे, ऑलरेडी हो गया हमारा कौन सा लेवल है? Last one. Below that. Okay, that is humility. It means avidya is going down. Actually, a devotee, the more we are in avidya, the more we think I know everything. The more avidya dissipates, the more a person becomes humble. So one of the quality of avidya is that I am in the highest stage. And symptom of vidya, real knowledge, is humility. I don't know anything. I have no devotion. I have no love for Krishna. Prabhupada, when he was going to America, he was writing in the Jaludhar, oh Lord, I have no devotion. I have no idea how I am going to speak your message to this Western people. I have no power to convince. I am merely a puppet in your hand. Make me dance the way you want me to dance. We all have, on our abilities, on our strength, on our skills, we have a lot of faith. That is a sign of avidya. Sign of vidya is a person is completely dependent on the Lord. Whatever I have is Lord's. I am able to speak, it's the mercy of the Lord. Credit goes to the Lord. If someone says, Prabhuji, aapne to bahut acha bola. Vidya means a person will think, who am I to speak? A person in avidya will take credit. When a person is in vidya, pride will not touch him because he actually knows the truth. He knows his position. He knows everything is coming from the Lord. That's how different people in avidya, they become very proud, very arrogant. Little power they get, little position they get, they become power corrupts, they say. By the mercy of the Lord, a devotee also becomes powerful, but that power does not corrupt him if he is properly situated. Because he understands that the source of everything is the Lord. If you cannot take to this practice of philanthropy, giving the results of work to the Lord. If you cannot do that also, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Some people are, inquisitive, interested in philosophy. They want to understand. Then engage in some cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. Some people are doing different kinds of meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of fruit of action. For such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Actually, today's session, the topic is peace of mind, how to attain peace of mind. The root cause why we are not peaceful is because we are attached to the results of our work. Avidya, kama, karma bhi. We are engaged in fruitive actions. We want to work hard, and that results we want to enjoy. And Krishna is giving us a process how that avidya can be slowly dismantled by becoming detached from the results. How do we become detached from the results? Renounce the actions, results of the. And if you cannot do it, then next step. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of. So, mind always fixed on me. If you cannot do this, regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. If you cannot do this, do my work. If you cannot do this, renounce the action, results of your action. If you cannot do the meditation. If you cannot do meditation, just cultivate knowledge. Cultivating knowledge, reading some books on philosophy is the bottommost. Better than that is meditation. Better than meditation is renunciation of the results of work. Better than that is doing Krishna's work, giving that results to Krishna for Krishna's work. Better than that is following the regulative principles of meditating on Krishna, thinking of Krishna, hearing the words of Krishna. And highest is always remembering Krishna. These are the different levels. And these levels broadly can be classified in these 4 lakh species. So these are a very good question. Is it possible to do all of that? थोड़ा सा charity भी कर लेंगे, थोड़ा सा devotional service भी कर लेंगे, थोड़ा सा chanting भी कर लेंगे, थोड़ा सा meditate भी कर लेंगे. Yes, it is. These are all not mutually exclusive. You do this, and then you stop that doing, and then you come to this. No, there is a overlaps. That. So gradually knowledge will develop to the point of meditation. Now why people are interested in meditation? They have come to the knowledge that something is missing in life. We have to control our mind. This is knowledge. Eat, drink and me, very simply just do whatever comes in your mind. No, I have to control my mind. The person comes to that knowledge, I have to control my mind, I have to control my senses. Then he comes to, let me meditate. What is the bottommost? Why control mind? I don't need any meditation. Bindas. Jo man mein hai karo. A person in knowledge is, no, I have to control my mind. Gradually knowledge will develop to the point of meditation. By meditation one can able to understand the Supreme Lord by a gradual process. In summary, to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal, there are 2 processes. One by gradual development In many, many lives, you cultivate knowledge. In many, many lives, you meditate. Over many, many lives, you try to do some philanthropic work. Over many, many lives, then you do some charity for Krishna, this thing. Over many, many lives, do practice 1 round, half round, 2 round, 0 round. And then finally, towards the end, one comes to Krishna. That answers your question. Over many, many lives. This is a gradual process. In summary, to reach the Supreme Personality, the highest goal, there are two processes. One is a gradual process. The other process is a direct process. Ultimate. Vedescha sarver aham eva vedya. Krishna says, of all the Vedas, it is I am to be known. Vedanta krit, to cultivate knowledge, meditate on so many things, meditate on candle, meditate on point, meditate on breath. Gradual process. Then cultivate some knowledge. Now I am not this body, I am something else. God is not in picture. I am not the body. All that gradual process. If you follow that, do philanthropic work, do charity, get detached. But the direct process is Mam Ekam Sharanam. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyante. A person in knowledge will come to me. Direct processes, instead of doing charity, this thing, instead of doing all this, instead of cultivating knowledge, instead of meditating, instead of doing philanthropic work, directly Mam Ekam Sharanam Gaja. One may either take the step-by-step process or the direct path. The direct process is not possible for everyone. Therefore, the indirect process is also recommended. You ask everyone, because we have avidya shakti, tell surrender to Krishna. Why? Because ichha dvesha is there. Why? Why I should surrender? Why I should think of Krishna? Okay. But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is a direct method that is stressed. Everyone is advised to take the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam. Now, what will happen this? What will happen that? I will get sin. I will get this thing. I will absorb. Ma sucha. Do not fear. So we'll stop here.